Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing my bullet journal setup for the month of June today, and I managed to get this out maybe a couple of days before June started, so that is a new win for me. I decided to do something different from the months before. For all the previous months, I have been doing scenes and stuff, but this time round, I decided that my theme is going to be oranges. I actually just decided on this theme maybe on the day itself when I was going to do my bullet journal setup, and I saw this painting of some oranges on Instagram, and it just made me want to paint oranges as well, so that's what I'm doing. Once again, I'm using my Canson watercolor paper. I've been using this since I started painting around 3 years ago. I'm just starting off with a quick sketch before using my kneadable eraser to kind of erase the harsher pencil lines in case it shows through my painting. I decided to do an underpainting this time around because I am going about my painting slightly differently. I decided to paint the foreground first before filling in the background. I normally do it the other way around, in which I do the background first before finally doing the foreground. And because I'm doing the foreground and painting in the background afterwards, I decided to do an underpainting so that it will really just help to make the painting a little bit more vibrant, and also in case it shows through, it will have a really nice orange color as well instead of the white watercolor paper. So after doing the underpainting with some watercolor, I let it fully dry and then started working on my oranges. I did this really nice desaturated orange color. I then did a little bit of shadows as well, just to create a little bit more depth and to demarcate the different oranges as well. I think it is probably one of my favorite paintings and themes for this year so far. It was a really fun painting to do, and it didn't take up too much time as well. I am using my new Moon palette as well from Sylvan Claywork. I love it so much, and I think it's so nice and just makes the whole painting process even more fun. But as you can tell, I haven't gotten to washing it yet. I seriously procrastinate with washing paint palette. I just don't know what it is about it, but after I'm done with the painting, I just can't bring myself to clean my paint palette on the same day, and so I just leave it until all my paints just fully dries and it becomes even harder to remove, and this is the current state of my paint palette. After I am done with my midtones and my shadows, that is when I start to work on the highlight. I'm just adding a little bit of a lighter orange mixed with some white. I'm not going for realism here. I just am trying to paint some oranges in my style, but I'm not too picky about it looking really realistic. I decided on some really dark, mostly black paint, just mixed with a little bit of green for the orange painting itself, and this was to just create a little bit more dimension, and I feel that doing that really tied the whole painting together. I started working on my background. I'm using a really light purple until it is almost white to paint in all the background. I just really wanted to have a really desaturated light color to just create that greater contrast between the background as well as the foreground for the oranges. And this part was probably the most tedious part of it all because I was trying really hard to be super careful when I was painting the background closest to my orange painting. So I used a really tiny round brush for that and made sure that my lines were as clean as possible. And after that was done, I went in with the brightest, with just white, to paint in the brightest highlight for both my oranges as well as the leaves itself. I decided to do the highlights last because I wanted to clean up any lines that were a little bit wonky, so that's why I did that after I filled the background in. I felt like my background was a little bit empty and plain, so I wanted to give it a little bit of texture. So I just mixed up a slightly darker purple color and just randomly painted it in the background to create a little bit more of a texture for my background. While waiting for it to fully dry, I started working on my calendars. Been doing this new calendar spread since January this year, and I like it so much more than the basic calendar kind of layout spread. And the reason why is because it really allows me a lot more space to write down the things that I have to do, and it's so much easier to set up as well. I started off writing my dates from the bottom up, and this ensures that I do not make any mistake in terms of the spacing and stuff. It makes it less likely for me to screw up, which I did mess up for previous months, so now this is how I do it. After I've written in the lines, I kind of know how much space I should demarcate for my header at the top. I did this in May as well. I decided to write my month on the left hand side rather than on the painting itself. I just feel like it kind of ruins the painting sometimes by lettering in the word on the painting itself, so I just kind of want to leave the painting untouched. I am working on my first weekly spread. I've changed the way I've been using my bullet journal this year, and I've changed to a more of a diary style, and as a result, I kind of set my weekly spreads up day by day, and this allows me increased flexibility to use as much or as little space as I need for that particular day, and changing it in this way has really allowed me to be able to wind down at the end of the day and just kind of consolidate my thoughts. I find that doing it this way has really helped me to want to pick up my bullet journal more. Also, I kind of use it as a more of a scrapbooking kind of thing. I have my SP Rocket, which allows me to print out photos and stuff, so I have been using that really often as well, just to keep those memories, you know. As for writing down the actual events or things that I need to do for that day, I just leave it all for my calendar, which is what I set up for the previous spread. Because it's in a vertical format rather than those tiny square boxes, I have so much more space to write down the things that I need to do. This layout has been really working for me, and I am so happy to finally find something that really works well for me. Even though I've been doing bullet journaling for, I think this is the third year now, I have finally found something that kind of suits me really well. So I just used my calligraph markers to draw an orange and the leaves, and I still think it looks really nice with the calligraph. So I think I'll do probably more of such drawings in my bullet journal for this month. And then I just have a little song quote on the left hand side, which is from Heaven by Niall Horan, and I am so excited for his album, which is coming out soon. So I also have some orange washi tape. I thought it was so appropriate for this theme that I definitely had to use it and will use it for the entire month of June probably. And with that, I'm done with my setup for this month. This is how it looks like, and I am really pleased with how it turned out. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give this video a like, and please subscribe as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!